Thank you all for coming tonight and for taking the time. My name is Adriana Fernandez-Clark, and I work with the Chick-fil-A team. We're looking forward to discussing this project with you tonight. Just wanted to mention at the front here that we have a couple of folks from the city who are on with us. Sherry Bermejo, who is the Planning Division Manager, and Craig Jimenez, who is the Community Development Director. So they'll be on tonight to help answer any questions if you have questions about the city process or anything like that. Jennifer, if you want to go to the next slide, I can give an overview of what tonight's meeting will look like. So we'll kick off tonight's meeting with some introductions, just so you know the full team that is on the call. We'll go into a little bit about the purpose of tonight's meeting, the proposed location for the project, and then we'll talk through the design plan and renderings for Chick-fil-A and for Starbucks. We'll talk about the donated green space that's a part of this project, and then the community benefits that are associated with this project. We'll close out by talking through the required approvals that are necessary and some next steps, and then we'll open it up. We'll have a lot of time at the end for questions and comments. Tonight's the purpose of tonight, which I know Jennifer will get into, is really to give an overview of this project and get, help answer questions that you might have, and really to get comments and feedback as well. So we'll spend a lot of time. If you have questions while we're going through the presentation, please feel free to put them in the chat so we can see them and we can, answer them as we go as well. With that, I'll hand it over to Jennifer Daw. Jennifer is the Principal Development Lead with Chick-fil-A.
Thanks, Adriana. Good evening. My name is Jennifer Daw, and I am the Principal Development Lead for Chick-fil-A. On behalf of Chick-fil-A, we are excited to present this joint development project with Starbucks. This will actually be our first Chick-fil-A in the city of Monrovia. I'm sure there are other Starbucks locations already in the city of Monrovia, but Chick-fil-A, we are excited that this is our first location here. And we have various representatives from Starbucks here as well, and various team members to answer any questions as we go along discussing this joint project. And again, as Adriana said, if you have any questions along the way, feel free to type them in the chat, or we'll have time at the end of this presentation to address any of your questions. So the purpose of this evening is for you, as I mentioned, as Adriana also said, is to really present this proposed project to you and to kind of listen to any of your questions or comments on the project. Now, in a typical open house setting, we would all have lovely, tasty snacks, and you can actually see the plans up close and personal and really look at the boards and the renderings. But given our current state, we are not able to join in person. And so we still hope that you do ask questions about this project, and we will try to make it as interactive as possible. However, hopefully at opening, you could stop by the project development and grab a cup of coffee at the Starbucks, and then also grab a wonderful Chick-fil-A sandwich. So the project requires the necessary entitlements from the city to develop the coffee shop with the drive-through and a quick service restaurant with the drive-through as well. The entitlements that we are seeking for this project are the following. So we have a zoning code amendment to allow for the single-story construction of the development. So right now we are seeking to amend the zoning code text to allow single-story construction here. There is a tentative parcel map to create two separate parcels, one for Chick-fil-A and one for Starbucks. And then there are 3 conditional use permits. So one of the conditional use permits is for the development of each tenant's drive-through, as this project resides about 100 feet within a residential zone. There's a conditional use permit for late night hours. This is required for any tenant operating between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m. And both Starbucks and Chick-fil-A will define their operating hours later in this presentation. And then there's a CUP for new construction for each restaurant that has an occupancy load of over 30 people. In addition to all the entitlements that I just outlined, this project will also go under what's called a CEQA review, California Environmental Quality Act. And as part of the CEQA review, this will be reviewed at a mitigated neg deck or an MND review, which will analyze the following factors amongst on this project, just to make sure that there are no significant impacts per CEQA. And so we have some consultants here from our traffic engineers, LLG, as well as our noise consultants. If you have any questions on the scope of our traffic as well as noise. But the CEQA document will also kind of further look into the greenhouse gas emissions and the aesthetics of the project and the effects on the biological cultural resources. Currently, our project is addressing these CEQA thresholds, and our hope is to have the MND circulated within 30 days after the city has deemed it complete. So first the city needs to deem the MND complete, and then they will circulate that within 30 days. As I mentioned, this is needed for the entitlement process and will be needed prior to us going to Planning Commission and then eventually City Council. This project is located at 820 Huntington Drive. As I've said, it's replacing, I'm sure we all know that there's the existing claim jumper there. It will replace that existing restaurant with 2 new restaurants, a Starbucks and a Chick-fil-A. It's on the southwest corner of Encino Avenue and Huntington Drive. Just for clarity, you have Huntington up the north and you have Encino to the east. You have Alta down to the south, and then this is the DoubleTree over in this area. This kind of just zooms in a little bit more to kind of really give you a defined look of the site plan. Again, I'll talk more about the Chick-fil-A development in a minute, and then Starbucks will talk about their development as well. So for the Chick-fil-A design plan and renderings, the plan is to construct our building on the northeast corner of this project. It is a 4,500 or about 4,562 square foot building. It has outdoor dining, and it will also have indoor dining as well. It has a drive-through service that will accommodate up to 30 cars from the entrance of the drive-through to the pickup window, which is also faces on Huntington Avenue, Huntington Drive. And these canopies allow our team members to kind of be outside and serve our customers by providing upstream iPad ordering system, as well as a meal delivery. And something about Chick-fil-A a little bit just about our drive-through model. We are constantly innovating our drive-through system, making it more service efficient and accurate with our iPads, our mobile orders, our Chick-fil-A One app. Our operators are fully involved and engaged with the on-site drive-through circulation, trying to find ways to ensure that there are no impacts on the public right-of-way. And so with our innovative technology, our operators utilize these iPads to provide that face-to-face service within our drive-through. And it has been shown that the average time from placement to exit is about 300 seconds. We were the first in our industry to add the double drive-through lanes, and now having the double drive-through lanes and these canopies really provide the ability to increase our speed of service and to provide safety for our team members. And we are consistently reviewing our business operations for traffic and safety flow to implement the best practices to improve customer service. We are always finding ways to maximize the drive-through experience for our customers and to mitigate any impacts, because at the end of the day, it is our business that it has the best interest to really have that highly functioning drive-through service, not just for our guests, but within the communities where we develop our restaurants. So our operating hours are proposed are Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to midnight. And I'm sure you know that Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays. And the reason for 6 a.m. to midnight is also there's prep time for our team members prior to opening, and then obviously for closing, and as well as for deliveries. So this is what their building renderings look for our proposed Chick-fil-A. You know, when we first met with the city, we proposed our prototypical design and we received some feedback that we really needed to enhance the building design here. And so we really listened and worked with the city staff to come up with somewhat of a design that's comparable or compatible rather for this area, as this building really sits right on the corner and it's visible for the 210. So this proposed design includes a mixture of our design palettes and colors, as well as a mixture of wood materials, metal awnings, as well as a metal and wood canopy. So you can kind of see some of the wood material that we're using down on the north view, which faces Huntington Road. We also, which I didn't call out, but here is our outdoor patio area that I indicated in the previous slide. It will have umbrellas to kind of provide that warm opportunity for customers to sit outside. And then obviously just a lot of our stucco and our prototype colors, but these are really prototype colors that have been used in a lot of our Chick-fil-A's that really provide that just a wonderful experience as that building sits and is designed within the community. This kind of gives you another rendering or view of our buildings with now the landscape, which I will talk about in a minute after Starbucks. But kind of shows you a little bit more of our canopies with the wood material that we're kind of incorporating from the building, and then various views from the corner as well as the entrance off of Huntington. So this right here is the main entrance. This northwest view is the main entrance off of Huntington Drive. And you can kind of see all the lovely palm trees and landscaping that we are adding within this plan. So at this time, I will turn it over to Carrie or Indira with Starbucks. They will kind of go over a little bit about their project highlights and features for the Starbucks development. And then I will come back and talk a little bit more about the landscaping and additional components to this project. So Carrie or Indira?
Hi, this is Carrie with Starbucks. Thank you for having us tonight. For the rendering portion of it, I'm gonna either have Robert or Indira speak to that, and then I'm here for more of the operational kind of questions.
Okay, Carrie, I'll hit the next slide for you. Just let me know when to flip. Okay.
Okay. Indira, did you want to jump in or should I?
Maybe you should speak to a general Starbucks intent.
Perfect. So this is our proposed site plan that we have here. It is a new freestanding 2,200 square foot restaurant, which will have a drive-through lane that can accommodate up to 13 vehicles, and we'll have parking as that was previously shown as part of the overall site plan development in conjunction with the Chick-fil-A. The site will also have exterior patio seating in addition to interior seating, and a nice cafe experience in the interior, which would be able to accommodate both larger community tables for groups that wanted to sit together and enjoy a cup of coffee, and then some smaller seating arrangements for 2 or 4 people to have a nice intimate conversation. And yeah, our proposed hours are 24 hours a day. That is in line with the other drive-through that we have on Huntington in Monrovia. And we do this in order to accommodate those early morning customers that want to get on the road and start commuting at the 4 a.m. time slot. And then, typically we like to be open until about 11 or midnight. We may adjust that depending on demand, but we want the flexibility to be able to see what the community needs and how extended our hours should be. But the plan is to be somewhere between 4 a.m. and possibly midnight is our general operating hours, and then we'll have deliveries possibly at night and throughout the day as well. I want to move to the next slide. And here's our design intent. I'll hand it over to Robert or Indira if they want to talk about the different elements, design elements that we've done.
I can quickly speak to that. Good evening. This is Indira with Greenberg Farrow. We're the architect of record for Starbucks. The building is designed in conjunction with, generally this development being visible and presentable, and a Starbucks building. In general, Starbucks buildings are always designed to be modern, but they draw from the heritage. This particular building has a four-sided architecture, as most of Starbucks that are freestanding building are, presents very well on four sides, and is a very warm, welcoming colors, and the color palette usually is drawn from natural colors and natural materials. The massing is very well proportioned for this size of a building, so that we were trying to emphasize the visibility from a street as well from the public side for the parking lot. And then there will be probably people coming from the hotel, so that's a presentable side for this building as well. In general, the Starbucks tries always to do design that is gonna last, and it's not trendy. So this building, as it stands, should kind of live the test of time. Let's put it that way. There are various materials, as you can see, some metal screens. I'm not sure if I can present, but on a north elevation, there are some metal perforated screens that are enhanced to present well. This particular pattern has a little bit of a coffee bean hint in it. So that's a nod to Starbucks, of course. And we have a metal canopies, wood canopies, as well as these. This is a type of a cladding that is wood-based. It is prefabricated, but it's wood-based, and some additional metals railing that is along the patio for just a safety and feeling for the customers that they're part of a little bit of an enclosed space, which it's outside, but it's enclosed. And I believe that is sufficient to describe the design. And this is, again, it's Jennifer is going to talk about landscaping, but landscaping was designed to emphasize and help architecture as well, and create a well-designed space with a consciousness about using water, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead, Indira.
No, I will hand it over back to you.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you, Indira. Thank you, Carrie, for design or explaining the Starbucks development and all of the components associated with your Starbucks development pad. So next, I'll take it back and I'll talk a little bit more about the donated green space on the project rather. So the project includes approximately 8,600 square feet of land that will be dedicated to the city of Monrovia. This anticipated portion of the project will be classified as a pocket park, and the city will be able to utilize this land for a park. Now, just to let you know, while the park plans are not being reviewed as part of this project, future development of the park will require additional public input and a separate review and approvals from the city. So this kind of just shows a little bit of a high level as to where the proposed park is. And on the next slide, you'll kind of see and understand where it is on the plan. But this also kind of just shows a bird's aerial view eye of really all the landscaping that's enhanced and being developed or that's being implemented into this project between Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. So the landscape plan is kind of more of a zoomed in version. Just to let you know a little bit about this landscape plan, it's actually kind of helping to shield both the drive-throughs of Starbucks as well as for Chick-fil-A. And it's also shielding the parking lot. There is a 10-foot landscape buffer on Huntington Drive. And then there's about a 7.5 landscape buffer on Encino. As you can see, there's lots of trees and shrubs and bushes to really provide some color into this development. And then this is the dedicated park area down here at the corner, this green shaded area that says not a park. This part of it will be dedicated to the city, and in the future, as I indicated, the city will develop this as part of a park for the city of Monrovia. You know, we always like to talk about great highlights that each project will bring to the city, not just on the development aspect, but also sometimes on the economic aspect as well. So the proposed Chick-fil-A project would bring approximately 80 jobs for the city of Monrovia residents. Chick-fil-A has a competitive pay, benefits, flexible hours, the highest employee retention rates in a quick service restaurant industry, and scholarships for our team member, for the restaurant team members. We give out a lot of scholarships for college educations. And then Starbucks, kind of similar, you know, provide 20 jobs for Monrovia community. Same, has competitive pay, benefits, flexible hours, full healthcare coverage, stocks, as well as they have their own Starbucks College Achievement Plan program. And community involvement, you know, Chick-fil-A is a restaurant known for getting involved in their communities and for their guests as well. And at opening, we give $25,000 to a local food bank. And just some things that Chick-fil-A focuses on: youth education, local communities and leadership, and family enrichment. And same with Starbucks, you know, they are on a journey to advance racial and social equality rather. And they have programs such as Coffee with a Cop and neighborhood grant programs, providing 1.5 million in neighborhood grants. So as you can see, we have two great organizations that are very, very extremely involved within their communities. I would say if you want to learn more about the community involvement for either Chick-fil-A or Starbucks, I'm sure to feel free to reach out to Carrie, who is with Starbucks, or you can reach out to me with Chick-fil-A, and we can provide you that necessary information. So the next steps for this process, the proposed project needs the approval from City Planning Commission and then eventually City Council. Planning Commission is expected to review this project sometime of spring of this year. And then, as I said, it needs to go to City Council due to the zone text amendment that we are asking for. Construction and occupancy for both the Chick-fil-A and Starbucks, we anticipate that to be completed sometime by the year of 2022, which is next year. So this concludes our presentation rather, and we're all here to answer any questions you have, whether it pertain to Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, or the entire development as well. Adriana, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, or do you want to take it back?
Yeah, no, you can, that sounds great. You can stop sharing.
Okay.
And so we have the chat open, or if anyone would just like to unmute themselves and ask a question or give any comments, happy to take those now. And while we do that, I will share.
Or do you want me to share the screen, Adriana, so we at least have the site plan up? I can do that.
Oh, I was just going to share actually this email, our email address for the project, in case folks wanted to just email us after. So I can just,
okay.
Can you see that?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. So just at the bottom here, we have West Huntington Drive Monrovia @gmail.com. That is our project email. And then we also have Sherry Bermejo's email address here listed at the bottom. So I don't know if you can see where I'm highlighting these two, but so if there are questions or comments that come up after, feel free to reach out to us at either of those emails. Okay. I will.
Hello, Adriana. This is Sherry Bermejo for the city of Monrovia, and I just wanted to introduce the city staff. With me is Craig Jimenez, our community development director. And as you guys presented, we're the project lead agency who will be reviewing the entitlements, taking them through the Planning Commission and City Council review process. And if there's anyone who has any questions about that process, you're more than welcome to contact us. We've been happy to answer any questions or concerns.
Okay, and again, I want to thank the Starbucks and Chick-fil-A team for putting together this meeting. I do want to let you know, everybody know that this is something that they didn't have to do. They initiated. They said it was very important to them to come out and meet the community before we actually go to the formal process. In fact, we don't even have a formal application yet. They wanted to get again, introduce themselves to the community. So we do thank them for that extra effort. It's always nice when we have a great partner moving things through the city of Monrovia. So again, we thank you to for the presentation. We thought it was very, very informative.
Thank you. All right.
Anyone have any questions?
Not hearing any.
None.
Well, that concludes the presentation. I think we can stay on in case anyone joins late or in case anyone wants to stay on and ask questions. But anyone that has any questions now? All right.
No questions. I just also wanted to thank the city for having us and accommodating us tonight. And we are excited for the partnership with Chick-fil-A and with the city of Monrovia, and look forward to moving forward through the proper channels to get this development underway. So thank you.
Likewise, yeah, we're just excited as well too.
Great. Well, then I think we can give folks some of their time back. Like I said, I will stay on in case we have anyone join late. But that concludes the presentation, and we look forward to continuing to work together on this project.